Okay, guys, good day. This is Wolf, and we are gonna be doing a test video today. Right, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna try a few basic Earth setups and see how they match up on the Bronze League. And I know a lot of people are in the Bronze. A lot of people are asking me about what cards to get, when they're starting. And if you want to start out, and if you see you have an Earth quest, this would probably be a guide for you, to help you out on what cards you need to rent. Okay, so let's start, guys. I guess if you really want to put on the win streak, there's gotta be a few cards that you have to be putting into your rental list. You can use the basic free cards for Earth. They're pretty strong actually. But then if you want to rack up the wins and make sure that you get an easier time, especially if you're new, there's a few cards that I will recommend. So let's get right to it. Number one card for you to go up against on Earth, to use for Earth, and I think it's something that is already hyped up a lot and something that I have been recommending ever since I started playing Splinterlands. It's a card called Myler Crawling. So guys, makinig ah. If you see that you have an Earth quest, definitely the first card that you want to get is Myler Crawling. You use your filter to Earth and then set it to rare. Myler Crawling is a rare card, and on bronze level, he is pretty strong. A lot of cards, a lot of monsters don't have a lot of skills, and melee is still the best way to go for bronze. Especially people are using fire and death a lot, and these are heavy, melee heavy splinters in the bronze level. Of course, water is a different scenario, but we will get to water later. All right, let's get started. I've actually taken a look at peakmonsters.com. It's another site where you can actually rent some cards. It's the same cards in Marketplace, but they actually display more cards than seen here in the Marketplace. Okay, so let's take a look at how much Myler goes for in renting. We'll just filter this on the first one so that we get the cheapest. Oh, there's a 9.45, and that's actually pretty cheap. But it's probably, the amount of time that we've taken looking at it, somebody's probably sniped it up. So basically, looking at Peak Monsters, the cheapest, aside from this 9.45, is around 20 DEC. So let's list that down. We got 20 DEC that we need. Check. After Milo Crawling, we're gonna go with another card. Again, guys, we're trying to make it so that we can rent cards that are efficient and will catch us wins. Okay. Now you can make your Earth life a little cheaper, but then I cannot guarantee wins every single time, right? Well, I cannot guarantee wins every single time with Myler, but he definitely ranks up the percentage. Madaling madali lang manalo using Myler Crawling. All right, so we already have him. The next card that we're gonna get for Earth is a common card. So let's filter it to common. And it's right here. It is called a Wood Nymph. So this is your basic Earth healer. She's got one attack, one speed, and one health as well. We're gonna filter that down to the cheapest, and there's one for 0.10, but this is again something that's probably put in by mistake. The real price here would be around 0.70. Oh, Clove! Wow, we got Clove setting up her Wood Nymph here. She's a streamer. Anyway, normally the price would be around 0.70, so less than 1 DEC. So we already have 20 and we got 0.70. We're gonna go worst case scenario. So we already have 20.70. And in fact with this just these two cards, it's already cool. We already got it. But I think we want to you still have if you still have a little bit more budget, we can rent one more card. And this is a neutral card. Normally on the bronze levels, you don't get the exact mana cap. So sometimes you have one mana available, one mana left, and there's nothing to put in. So we're gonna get a card called Creeping Ooze. So Creeping Ooze acts just like your Furious Chicken, but he is one to cast. But he's got something which Furious Chicken doesn't have, and it's the ability. Even the level one Creeping Ooze has this ability. If you click on that, it reduces the speed of all enemy monsters. So that in itself is awesome. Plus the fact that he's a meat filler. And when you say meat filler, it means that the enemy has to spend one attack, just to kill him off, right? So that attack could have went to your healer, that attack could have killed off your tank or whatever. But instead, he had to kill this one to cast creature, Creeping Ooze, and that's the use of Creeping Ooze. Just like with Furious Chicken, where it's 0 to cast and he still needs to kill it. Alright, we got that down. And let's go worst case, and let's say we get a rent for 1.50, just in case. So we're already at 21 point or 22 point something. Let's just call it 23. We're renting for 1 day. That's already 23. Alright, so that's 23 for 1 day. Not bad. Not bad. And that DEC is something that you've earned while either playing or you've bought it either via Hive or you bought it from a player. Whatever the case, we now have our Mylar Crawling and we now have our Wood Nymph. And we now have our Creeping Ooze. Did I rent Creeping Ooze? I don't think I rented Creeping Ooze. So let's do that right now. Let's rent him up. Okay, Clove again has... let's just do that for 1 day. We're gonna pretend, although it's not much of a pretend, that we don't have a lot of DC. We really don't have a lot of DC. Okay, looks like it's been sniped already. Understandable. Let's go to the next one. The next one is 1.50. Let's do that. Hopefully we'll be able to catch this one. Oh, and it was snipe as well. Alright, so let's do something. This is a trick that I do. Let's just get 1 or 3 lines below, because people are sniping. Now, oh my god, 0.87. So the price has been skyrocketing just as we were talking. But as long as we're below 1 DEC, we should be fine. Do we get it? Oh, we still don't get it. Oh man, it's not good. Because if I can't get here, I'm gonna get from the peak monsters. We're gonna try one last time. We're gonna get this one. 0.95. It's still less than 1 DC. So hopefully we can rent this. I think we got this one. Alright, so we now have our Creeping Ooze. Let's go back to cards. Let's look at the rented to me. So I have 4 cards I've rented already. I actually rented Furious Chicken a while back. And this one is around 8 DEC per day. You don't need to have both of them. You can have only Creeping Ooze or Chicken. Creeping Ooze is much cheaper, but if you can rent all of them, that would be great. And Creeping Chicken is 8. It's around 9 DC. So let's just call it to around 30 DEC for all of them. So 30 DEC, you can climb out of bronze, and you can actually go to silver with that lineup. But then not everything is, it's not going to be Earth all the time. But at least with Earth, you already have, for example, you're going to do a daily quest. These 4 cards would get you through it. Now let's see it in action. So I fought a few matches earlier. As you see, I actually have an Earth quest for this account. This is my 3rd account. And let's scroll down. Let's take a look at a few of our wins here. Let's start off with the first one. So this one is only at 15 mana cap, and we fought against death. So let's take a look at this replay, and let's see how it goes. So this is a basic death setup actually. Normally death would play with 1 healer, which is Haunted Spirit, and he's usually gonna go with either an archer, but normally it is going to be a melee attacker with sneak or opportunity. In this case, he has Undead Badger and he has Skeleton Assassin. Alright, at this point, I actually haven't rented Ooze yet, so you're seeing me just renting Myler Crawling and Wood Nymph without the Creeping Ooze and the Chicken, right? And what's gonna happen here is that most likely he's gonna kill off our healer, but then it would not be enough to take off the Mustang. Let's try and see. Okay, as it starts off, of course, the summoner has lowered down our power and the health as well of all of our monsters. There goes our healer. However, because of Thorns of Myler Crawling, he also dies. Here's another one. He hits the unicorn and he dies. So he heals up, but he gets hit by Thorns, and then he's gonna get hit by Unicorn Mustang. He heals for 2, but we hit back by 4. So definitely this is gonna be a win on our end. So we're just gonna wait for that. He's gonna heal again one last time. He's back to 3. Thorns activated, down to 1, and then our Mustang will be attacking. And unfortunately for him, his Undead Priest doesn't attack, so it just sits there as slowly trampled to death by our Unicorn Mustang. And we got that win. That was 15 mana with no rules, so we only use Unicorn Mustang and the healer. Alright, let's look at a few more scenarios here. So earlier we already had the low mana count match. I think this is the higher mana count match. So in this case, our opponent used life. Let's watch this replay. So we got around 28 mana cap. We put in Unicorn Mustang. We put in our healer as advised, Wood Nymph, and we got a Goblin Thief. This guy is 4 to cast with 2 power, and he uses sneak. Alright, and normally when I'm facing life, I know there's going to be a sneak attack because that's how I would play, right? Life actually plays 2 ways. He goes either with the shield bearer and then kills him with the creature with reach, or he does a full sneak attack, or maybe a combination of the 2 strategies. So this one is kind of a combination of the 2 strategies. He's got a tank, which is shield bearer, and then he's got Silver Shield Warrior, which has reach. So they're attacking on the front line. Meanwhile, we got two cards who will be attacking the back line. They've got Feral Spirit and Cave Slug. Cave Slug has opportunity. It will attack the monster with the lowest health. And Feral Spirit has Sneak, which will attack the monster at the back. And if you can see my lineup, this is why I put in Earth Elemental at the back. Earth Elemental has high life, it's 6, he's an archer, and he can attack, but basically he's just there to cover up any attackers from behind. And because we're using Myler Crawling, anybody that hits him will get hit by thorns, right? Yep, that's right. Meanwhile, we do have a sneak attacker of our own, Goblin Thief. So we're gonna sneak in a few hits as well. And let's see how all of this plays out. One cool thing about the Unicorn Mustang, guys, is that besides having Void as its earlier skill, he also has 4 speed, so it's pretty fast. And it is not unusual for monsters to miss actually their attacks because of his high speed. So remember, guys, the higher your speed, the more that enemies would miss their attacks on your monster. But there are exceptions. Number one exception is if the enemy monster has True Strike, which means he never misses. It's also granted by the summoner Byzantine Kitty. So, yun. Alright. Yep. Alright. So, let's get back to the battle anyway. So, let's see how this plays out. We know these two guys will be attacking in the back. But we do have a big butt guarding us. Meanwhile, we have our front being guarded by Mustang. So there's 2 attackers attacking from the front. However, they only deal 2 and 1 damage. And that's 3 damage. And Wood Nymph would probably be healing most of that damage anyway. Let's take a look. One thing that we have to worry about though is that Cave Slug will hit the monster with the lowest life, and that would be our Wood Nymph. So it's highly likely that our Wood Nymph would die first, but hopefully he has done enough, she has done enough, and caused thorns to hit the Giant Slug. Alright, let's watch how this plays out. Okay, so buffs are put in place. We got Furious Spirit. Right. Furious Spirit is sneak, so he attacked the one on the back. He hits Earth Elemental. Shield Bearer also hits Unicorn Mustang. Goblin Thief has to hit Shield Bearer because he has a skill called Taunt. So it means all creatures that attack Shield Bearer, that can attack Shield Bearer, must do so. So as expected, the Giant Slug was able to kill our healer. However, she did inflict 2 thorns damage to Giant Slug. Let's continue watching. Okay, so we got this card, Silver Shield Warrior. He has reach, so even in the second position he attacks. He gets hit by thorns. Unicorn Mustang. Wait, let's make it a little faster. Alright, so every time these monsters hit our monsters, they get hit by thorns by Myler Crawling. And I hate to see a good card go down, but unfortunately because of thorns and high life, we are able to take down this life team using Myler Crawling, thorns, and just standing our ground. Alright, this should be over. It's got 1 card left, Giant Slug. It's got 1 speed, not enough. Alright, so we got through that. Positioning goes a long way as well, guys. Normally, you would position your tank in the front. You can put meat shields or meat fillers behind that tank, or you can put it behind to act as an anti-sneak. Also, after that meat shield, or it can be a meat shield, or it can also be a reach attacker, a melee with reach, or any other range attacker. Anyway, the next in the hierarchy of positioning is the magic monsters. So we got the tank first, whatever it is, and we got the meat fillers, and then we got the DPS, those which do damage from afar, and normally the magic users are the ones in that slot, and then we got the range attackers at the back. Okay, let's watch a few more matches. Let's compare. Of course, I'm not gonna show the match that I lost. Alright, so here's another low mana battle. So this is pretty tricky because we got 12 mana. All splinters are available, there are no rules, everything is good. So what if you don't have enough mana to use Unicorn Mustang along with Myler Trolling? So let's try and see what happens here. So our opponent used Death, which is not a bad choice. Definitely Death has really cheap cards, and they'd be able to go toe to toe with you. Toe to toe with you. Alright. But somehow the positioning of this guy, what he did was he put Cursed Slime Ball on the first position, assuming this will die, and then he's gonna put the Haunted Spirit on the second position. So you may be saying, "Oh, ano ba yan? Why did he do that? He did suicide." Not exactly. You see, this is a meat filler. The meat fillers can also go in front. So imagine, let's just imagine that I have a monster which has 99 power and nothing else. It's just 99 power and the normal stats. And we got this Cursed Slime Ball here instead of the Haunted Spirit, which is a true tank. By putting the Cursed Slime Ball in front, it can absorb even that 99 damage, and that would have cost a turn already on your opponent's side. So his 99 attack monster already attacked this other monster. So when he dies, when Cursed Slime Ball dies, Haunted Spirit will move up to the first position, and hopefully the 99 power monster is already done with his attacks, and they can attack next. Well, that was the plan anyway. I think that was what he was trying to do. But this is 12 mana cap. What we did was we put Stone Golem, and we put again Earth Elemental. So we got the front, we got the back covered, and we got a chicken sandwich. Chicken sandwich. Well, a meat filler. The meat filler acts as also a stop point between the tank and the one after, which is usually an archer. So at this point, if for example Stone Golem dies, the opponent has to hit one more time to kill off chicken before getting to the Earth Elemental, and that can cost time and turns. So that's what the thought process in trading something like this. Alright, let's do this. Looks like his skeleton assassin is gonna be attacking first, and it gets hit by thorns. He hits our Earth Elemental. Earth Elemental attacks and kills the Cursed Slime Ball. Next we have our Stone Golem, but it only attacks for 1. Meanwhile, this guy attacks for 2. Unfortunately, he gets hit by thorns and then eats an axe in the face, Earth Elemental, and takes 1 damage from Stone Golem. He heals back 2, but basically he's getting hit by 4 damage. 2 from thorns, 1 from Earth Elemental, and another 1 from Stone Golem. So basically, if the damage builds up little by little, even though he's not healing enough to cover the damage being done by our monsters. Alright, so we got that low mana team for Earth ready. Let's see if there's another scenario we can go through. Okay. What if our opponent uses magic. So if our opponent uses magic, and this is a basic magic team, you see that the opponent most likely will use magic on his next match. For example, he's using magic like 5 times, or even 3 times actually. Then there is a chance that he would be using magic today. So this is something that I anticipated. Myler doesn't do a lot on magic because normally they only have one tank, and then the rest are all magic users, magic monsters. So at this point, I did not use Myler crawling. Instead, I used Liana because I know that Myler would not do anything anyway because he's not a melee. Normally, mostly not a melee team. He does have one melee, which is a Frozen Soldier. This is the most basic of magic teams, guys. They have one tank, which is Frozen Soldier, and then all the free magic users. So this is a very basic magic team. Alright, so what's cool with our lineup though is that we have Unicorn Mustang has a skill called Void, so he reduces the damage done by enemy monsters if they use magic. Remember, we don't have thorns, but that's okay. And what I did was for his backline, I actually chose an all magic set. There was a reason for this. I forgot. Oh yeah, because Frozen Soldier has 3 life but 5 armor. And if we chose something like a normal melee monster or a ranged attacker, it would have to go through that 5 armor, which will take time. So instead, I used magic all the way. Wood Nymph already has her magic attack, and then I put in Goblin, what's this? Goblin Sorcerer, and I put Elven Mystic. Even though they're not upgraded, that's fine. We don't have to hit a lot, we only need to hit 3, and we should be good. While Unicorn Mustang will deal with all of these ladies. Alright, let's try it. Okay, buffs are in place. Liana just gives us 1 extra health. Unicorn Mustang goes first. And we got the firing squad from behind. And even though they're powered up, Void does its job. We got our own magic users, doing their thing. Goblin Sorcerer has sneak, so he's attacking that. Okay, we got Mustang on heal. Alright, we're done with the Frozen Soldier, so Mustang can hit directly the life forces, the HP points of these cards. We don't even need our backline at this point. Although, of course, we want the heals. Alright, he just doesn't have any defense. Like the Magic Worst Nightmare is, well, this card with Void. Okay, and we got that. That's a higher mana, but I'm hoping that you see the thought process that I do whenever I create decks. Right? It would have to be based on what the opponent customer. I just say customer. The opponent is putting in. And when I saw that he was mostly using water, I knew that water was coming. So I did not use Myler Crawling. I know it's going to be useless on magic decks. So I used Liana instead. All right. So basically, you've seen it in action. We only rented 4 cards. I actually just asked you to rent 2 cards, which is Myler Crawling and Wood Nymph. But we just added Creeping Ooze and Meat Filler Chicken along the way. But that setup would have been okay. Now, here we go. On the off chance that you would be encountering a Lamacron combination, which we know is super powerful, especially at the lower levels. We do need one more card, and that card is called. All right. That card is called Mushroom Seer. It's a rare card, if I remember. There it is. He's a little expensive though. But if you've ranked up in bronze, you'll be encountering more people with Lamacron. So you'll have to remember to have a Mushroom Seer. So what does he do? He's 5 to cast, 2 power, 1 speed, and 3 life. Nothing much to crow about, but he does have a skill called Silence, and it reduces the magic attack of all enemy monsters. So that's where Unicorn Mustang comes in. The synergy between Mushroom Seer and Unicorn Mustang is that if you've been able to lower his magic attack enough so that it's only 1 damage, then Unicorn Mustang will get 0 damage even though he's hit by magic. Yep, Mushrooms here. Way to beat Lamacron. Guaranteed. Okay, so we're done with the rentables, and we've already done with some of the few lineups that I have. We've already seen a low mana lineup. We've already seen a moderately bigger mana lineup. We've seen a big mana lineup, and we've also seen me fighting against water, even though I did not use Mylar Trolling. Right, so that's it. This is a test stream. I wanted to see for what kind of content I'll be starting off my YouTube channel with regarding Splinterlands. So if you have any ideas on what other videos you'd like me to put out, as always, you know that you can catch me live at 4:30 p.m. every day, except for Thursdays, 4:30 p.m. Manila time. So turtles, those who are on the turtles, I just said turtles. Those who are on the Pacific or Eastern time zone, you're just guys gonna have to convert, and you can watch me live at 4:30 p.m. Manila time. I give strategies. Normally, I fight with my daily quest chests for my main account, which is currently in Diamond League. And I also show what I rent to be able to maintain that and hopefully get to champion. But for now, I've given you a good source of information for low-level Earth decks. Next time, I'll be discussing the higher level Earth decks to see what cards you would like to be renting to make sure you can get to Diamond, coming from, let's say, Gold or even Silver. Right? And let me know in the comments, let me know in the comments what other videos you'd like. Of course, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you've already subscribed to this channel. And that's it for me today. Thank you guys. Damien Wolf out. Peace.